So I've been getting really into Suda51's games.
Right. I remember this. That's one of my favorite. I think it was on Facebook and Twitter where you're like, I got Killer 7, and also I'm like 90% sure I'm non binary. Can't wait to
Yeah.
play Killer 7.
What?
Can't wait to play Killer 7.
Oh yeah. And then people would be like, "Oh, congratulations!" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know. I've been dying to play this one for ages."
Yeah. What?
Um,
Yeah, what Suda 51 games have you been playing?
it's I so I've kind of lapsed. Um, I haven't really played. I started playing Killer 7, and then I saw that this one called the Silver Case was on sale, and I was like, "Well, fuck, he made this before Killer 7, so I got to give this a try." And
Hmm.
it's this old like visual novel that the story is interesting. It's kind of clunky to play, but
Hmm.
it's got this like genuinely really creepy sense of atmosphere to it that
Nice.
I think it's like the all the Suda51 games I've played so far have like this really strong sense of atmosphere to them.
Hmm.
Um and I mean it's like Silver Case, Killer 7, No More Heroes, and Travis Strikes Again. They all have like this weird, low down, kind of creepy feeling to them. Not creepy in a bad way or in like a skeezy way, but
Hmm.
um, it's like they got this almost grimy feeling to them. And
Okay.
I I think No More Heroes 2 kind of it starts to get a little bit more obvious with it because it starts to like imitate grindhouse cinema in a lot of ways.
Okay.
But then No More Heroes 3 is like a lot sleeker, and it's there's just it's there's just this like feeling to all the Suda51 games I've played so far. And it can really be summed up in like there's this scene in No More Heroes that's one of my favorite scenes in the game where Travis walks into an empty sound stage where they're shooting a movie,
All right.
and all of the green walls are just like covered in blood. And
Nice.
it's quiet, and he's like tiny in the frame, and he's just walking in, and his steps are echoing off the walls, and then there's just this mailman standing in the middle of the room, and he's like, "Hey, it's good to see you. Would you mind turning around and facing that way, please?" And
Okay.
and there's just something so uncanny and creepy about it, and it's again like Killer 7. It's tough to put my finger on it. It's uncanny. That's what the word is. It's like
Yeah.
it's it feels like you've just walked into a room that you were not supposed to be in, and
Hmm.
you've just seen something bizarre happening. Like have you ever watched the movie The Shining?
Have I seen The Shining? No, I don't think I've. Wait, The Shining is the one in the hotel, right?
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
hotel.
I have seen parts of it. I have not seen. I've sat down to see the full movie, but
Have you
I
seen the scene with the dude in the dog suit?
no.
Oh,
I
okay. Well,
I
that's a
don't
bad
mind.
example then.
I don't mind spoilers. You can explain it to me. I don't mind spoilers for
It's
this movie.
there's just the scene where it's not really a spoiler. But there's this scene where someone's running through the hotel and shit's popping off, and they run past this one room, and they look, and it looks like a butler and a man in a full body like dog suit are about to have sex.
Oh no, I don't like
And
that.
they just look in, the camera just like quickly goes over to the two, just kind of turn in to look at the door like, what are you looking at? And then the person who was running through the hotel just runs away.
Nice.
It like it's just the sort of the feeling that you've walked into a room in a place you're not supposed to be, and you've seen something that you are not supposed to have seen.
I know
And
that.
that's
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's like I wouldn't call the games that Suda makes horror games, but those types of scenes have been some of the most unnerving scenes I've seen in a video game.
That's awesome. I get that feeling from Quentin Tarantino movies sometimes. I know that he's like gotten some flack for like doing some weird stuff and doing weird stuff in his movies, but
Yeah, Tarantino's done some weird shit.
yeah, there's a lot of scenes in his movies that strike me as very similar to that of the protagonist or a character, whatever character's on screen, walks into a situation that they're immediately like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here right now." Um,
It's
which I think is
Have you
cool.
seen Pulp Fiction?
I have seen Pulp Fiction.
You're like the whole plot line with the dungeon under, I
Yeah,
think it was a video store.
yeah, that's horrifying.
Oh yeah.
Horrifying. Yeah, um,
It's
stuff like that.
yeah. It's
Um,
that sort of the feeling of I'm not supposed to be here is like one of the most horrific feelings to me.
I would agree. Like even just I remember this is just a story that I have. I went to high school part time. I had been homeschooled up until would have been my sophomore year of high school. And my sophomore year of high school, I actually went to a public high school part time. And on the first day, I was there for jazz band. I had auditioned for the jazz band. I had gotten in, and I walked in,
Nice.
and it was like the other band, like before our session, like before jazz band was supposed to be. I don't know. It was the high school's like orchestra or something, in using the same room, and I had showed up early. And I just got this overwhelming sense of like I'm not supposed to fucking be here. I was, but it's just it's not a pleasant feeling. And of course in
Yeah.
fiction when you can elevate that to an actual sense of dread of like, oh, they're not supposed to be here, that's even it's that feeling, you know?
Yeah, there's a scene in and it's not even a scene, it's an entire level in Travis Strikes Again that's one of the creepiest things I've ever played in a video game.
Please tell me about it.
It's so Travis Strikes Again is Travis Touchdown is living in a trailer playing video games all day, and he gets like sucked into a bunch of different video games. And one of the games, they're all like within the universe old games from a system that never came out.
Oh, okay.
And one of the games is a retelling of a serial killer's murder spree.
Oh, okay.
And it's like the killer was like within the universe he was a real killer. He's not a real serial killer in real life.
Yeah.
Um, but you go into the game and it's like this top-down, almost Pac-Man style game where you're running through identical suburban houses, and this like weird, calm, almost Muzak is playing. I don't know how you say it. Muzak.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then you go into the houses and you'll talk to a character, and the character will be like, at this murder scene, they found the family all tied up, killed right next to each other. Um, the drag marks on the hallway suggests that they were moved throughout the house, and
Ugh.
it feels like a video game that you shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, oh my god, that's so awesome. And
It's
I love that.
it's fucking creepy. Like it's one of my favorite levels in any video game ever.
That's so
Um,
goddamn cool.
people don't talk enough about Travis Strikes Again. They talk a lot about the other No More Heroes games. Travis Strikes Again, I think, is really, really interesting.
Do you think so? I've never played a Suda 51 game before. Do you think if I were to go in and be like, all right, I want to experience some of this guy's works, do you think starting with No More Heroes, the original, No More Heroes 1 would be the way to go, or would you recommend something else?
Started with No More Heroes 1. I
Hmm.
like it's No More Heroes 1 is it's definitely a very accessible game because it's like um it's got that pseudo weirdness to it, but it's a lot less weird in terms of like how it plays than something like Killer 7, which I have never played a video game like Killer 7.
Mm.
Um, it just not in the way it controls, not in the way it plays. It's like truly bizarre. I think it's excellent, but
Mm.
it's like getting started. No More Heroes is a fairly for the most part a fairly standard hack and slash in terms of how it plays. It's just it's like the ways in which its open world is utilized is a little bit weird. Um,
I got
but
you.
yeah, yeah, it's like you're the thing with No More Heroes 1, and by the time you get to Travis Strikes Again, you'll probably have wanted to play at least a few other Suda51 games
Mm.
because there's a lot of references to other Suda51 games in that one.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
You're not going to miss anything major. Just if you're gonna start with No More Heroes, make sure you go No More Heroes 1 and 2, then Travis Strikes Again, then 3, because Travis Strikes Again is really important. And
Okay.
I will say, um, No More Heroes 1 can be a bit of a slog at times.
Oh, okay.
It is very much worth sticking with.
Is there any? Is it on PC or would I have to
Yes.
like? Okay, okay, good.
So it's on PC. I would recommend the Switch version.
The Switch version? Okay, all right.
The the thing with No More Heroes is that the way the combat works is you fight an enemy by just like attacking them, and then as a finishing blow, you swing the Wii remote in a certain direction.
Mm.
And it doesn't sound like it would change a lot, but it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Um, so you can play it without motion controls, but I would recommend playing it with motion controls.
All
It's
right. I'm
really fun.
if I get around to playing it, I will get it on Switch. There's so many games. Like actually, so right now I'm playing through Halo Infinite. I'm playing through it a couple times, and ultimately I'm very disappointed with the game. Uh,
Oh,
Unfortunately, because I love
yeah.
the Halo franchise, and I don't know if you know about the whole thing back in like 2010 when Bungie and Microsoft kind of went their separate ways, and Microsoft kept hold of the Halo franchise, and Bungie started making
Yeah.
Destiny. And in
Yeah.
my I I really like Destiny 1, um, and Halo 4, which was Microsoft's first original Halo game that they made with 343 Industries, which
Yeah.
was sort of the Bungie Microsoft hybrid company that they made after that split. It's pretty okay, but man, all of those games that they went on to make are just not as good, and I keep hoping that they're gonna reignite my excitement for those games, but they don't. So that's what I'm playing
It's
right now. What?
you're talking about like Halo 5 and then Halo
Yeah,
Infinite.
Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. They just didn't do it for me. But after I'm done kind of messing around with Halo Infinite and sort of forming my opinion of it, you, my good friend, bought me Stardew Valley, and I'm planning on delving into that probably
Oh shit, I
sometime this
love that
weekend.
game.
I'm very excited to try it, and I got other stuff lined up. Like I know I'm gonna try Yume Nikki. Another game that I've really wanted to play uh, is Drakengard, which I know you told me is a little
Ooh.
wonky, but specifically I'm kind of interested in playing Drakengard 3 because that's on a console that I actually have. I've been told that it's one of the best ones, and it's also a prequel to the original Drakengard, so I don't think
Yeah,
there would be any spoilers for Drakengard
it's
1.
there's like there wouldn't really be any spoilers for Drakengard 1. It's just there's some stuff with Drakengard 3 that might hit harder if you'd played Drakengard 1.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll watch like a
It's
video or something.
it's sort of a it's not really as important as like Near Replicant before Near
Mm-hmm.
Automata, but it's there's definitely some scenes in Drakengard 3 where if you hadn't played Drakengard 1 you would go like, "Oh, this is kind of cool," but if you'd played Drakengard 1 you would have gone like, "Oh my God, they're doing the thing."
Oh shit! If playing Drakengard 1 after Drakengard 3, would there like be retroactive like excitement about that or?
Um you definitely